Alright, so I'm not sure what's happening with the stream. It wasn't actually going through before, I think. But anyway, I'm here now. I'm here very briefly. I have probably a little less than a half hour before I have to go. I am ready to go, so I don't have to like spend time getting ready. That's fine. But I thought I'd just some time now to work on this little overskirt thing. If you want to join in chatting with me, you can go over to Twitch and I can see your chat there if you are a follower for at least 10 minutes. Because I needed to ward off trolls to make sure that just not any rando is going to come into my chat and like start saying stuff and then leave. So you got to commit a little bit. It's not much of a commitment, but it's a little commitment. Just working on this Catbug cosplay overskirt thing, and I'm going to do the other side. Does not have to be too perfect, but if you're watching, thanks for joining me. I appreciate your time. I wish I had more, but that is how it is when one wants to earn a paycheck. I like where I work though. The place I work at is pretty amazing, and the people there are just like my little family, and I tell everybody that. I am not ashamed to tell everybody how much of a family that I think they are to me anyway. We take care of each other, we care for each other, and it's just a fun environment. So right now it's like 10 to 5 o'clock. My shift starts at 6. But I leave here with enough time to get there. Like if it's super busy, I can jump in and help out. So like 45 minutes before my shift starts, and it only takes me a little bit of time to get there to begin with. Still, I like helping. Maybe one of these days I will have an ironing set up on the table itself so you can have a top-down view of that. Sometimes what I do is intricate work on the ironing board itself. For example, pin tucks. I end up doing a lot of pin tucks on my ironing board. Come to the chat, we have cookies. Okay, here are 2 of the overskirt pieces. Very neat. Did it actually go through? Oh good, I'm actually online. What do you know? I'm curious. Do I have any viewers? I don't know. I mean, it looks like I do. Maybe. Nope. Just the one on Twitch, and I think it's me. Oh, I got my walking foot! I'm so excited! And this is not plugged in. Hooray! Okay, this Goes to the serger. Oh my god. Can I do this though, or am I challenged? I think I'm challenged. Challenge accepted. Alright, here we go. Here's that one. This one goes to the serger, which should probably, I don't know, stay down here. Oh, really, cats? Knocking my stuff down? Cats. Ugh. But it's funny, I just got my walking foot and I'm not going to be using it right now. I need to plug that in over there. And I need some red. Nope. Wrong. Oh, that's embroidery thread. Yeah. No, I had some. This is like a raspberry. Hey, Melon! Walking foot is amazing! I actually just use it for regular sewing too, most of the time. But right now, I feel like I'm missing so many colors. Where are the rest of them? Oh, I guess they're here. That looks like red. This looks like red. That looks like, yes, that is a decent red. Okay. I am well. How are you? I'm getting ready to go to work very soon. I keep like looking at my watch. I don't wanna. But I got. Oh yeah, I was using a big cone of red, and I think my friend has claimed that one. Yep, don't have red in here. Oh man. That's okay. I know where to get cones of thread. I got this one, so that works. Now, I'm gonna plug this in. There we go. And I suppose if I were feeling adventurous, I could just do a rolled hem with my fingers. It takes some deftness, but it can be done, and is actually how we did it in a factory setting. I had to learn how to do it, because we weren't going to change feet just to make a rolled hem. It's really interesting the kind of techniques that one employs when they're in a factory because of time constraint. Everything's on a schedule. Apparently I sewed too slowly, even though I was considered one of the fastest in my class when I went to school. That was not good enough. Of course, I didn't have like 35 plus years experience. I don't know what was expected of me other than sew faster, schnell, schnell! And that didn't work out. And that's okay. It's kind of an oppressive environment anyway, not very creative. But I did learn a lot about production and the beast therein. Alright, let's see if we can do this. We're gonna just make, I'm not making a really narrow rolled hem. I'm just gonna make like a basic rolled hem here. First of all, let's set our needle. Ooh. Is that gonna, okay, we're gonna make it to the center. Right, need to make sure that this is threaded. Hey, I'm skipping steps. I don't know why. I'm too fast. One of these days, maybe I could set a camera that's more fixed so that you guys can see a more up-close idea of what I'm doing here. I am just sewing while I'm standing because my cat currently has my tall chair claimed. And that's just how he is. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Make sure this is set down like so, and just hold things taut. Okay, but really. Hello, I'm sorry I have to wake you up. I hate doing this. Come on, movie. Let's go. I know. You're looking at me like, what? What's happening? Yeah, I need this chair. I need the chair. Hey, go away. Thank you. Love you. Bye. You made a tea and treadle dress in 5 days. That's the fastest for you? Hey, that's not bad. When it comes to like original things, the fastest that I've been, I was commissioned to make a Weiss Schnee cosplay. And okay, are you going to feed, or are you just gonna like tease me here? Okay, that's better. So I made a Weiss Schnee cosplay from scratch, sourced all the materials, and once I got all the materials in, and she needed it, like when she ordered it, she needed it in 2 weeks, and I still had to order the materials for it. So the materials came in about 4 or 5 days after, and then I set to work immediately. Like I did crazy things. I ended up using a hot knife to cut the intricate scallop edges on her sleeves and the neckline of the little bolero that I made for her. It was a custom size. I think it ended up being a little too big, but the girl that commissioned it for her friend is a friend of mine. She went to fashion design school too, so it wasn't a problem that she could just alter it for her. But I cut it with a hot knife because it was polyester and I knew I could do that. And then I ended up hand painting the entire bottom border of the skirt with silver puff paint, and I made a really intricate stencil that I had to keep like cleaning up because the puff paint kept like filling in all the crevices with the puffiness, and I got it done in 5 days. I couldn't believe it. I like worked nonstop, and the hardest part was hand painting those little stencil things in there. Oh my god. Never again. Is this coming out? Is this alright? Looks okay. Stitches look a little fine. Yeah, it was super labor intensive. I probably couldn't do commissions. It's a commitment. Once I got to a skill level that I felt was satisfactory, I was taking on commissions. Well, once I got to school and I started learning basics of pattern drafting and draping and all that stuff, I started taking commissions pretty early at that point. And I didn't feel too intimidated by it because I was getting the tools that kind of helped me learn that I could do just about anything I wanted to with some simple techniques. But if you are self-taught, sometimes that stuff doesn't come to you so naturally, and it takes a lot of research, where I was just given instruction in a classroom and then went on my merry way. Okay, I think we're okay. But one of my earliest commissions for a remote customer was back in the day when the Lord of the Rings was brand new. Somebody commissioned Rosie's dress with a little keyhole bodice, and I made it out of like remnant fabric from the student store that was right next to my school, because I went to the Fashion Institute of Design in Los Angeles, and connected to that is like a student store-ish, not really a student store, but more like it was part of the school, and students got a huge discount off of things, and it was all like run off from major design houses. When they have 10 yards or less, they can't use it anymore, so they end up donating it to the school. So there were like some really high quality fabrics that I got my hands on, and I made her entire costume out of fabrics that I ended up finding there, which she was pretty happy with. I was not, like, looking back on it now, it was kind of a hot mess. But I did it, and I gained some confidence in being able to do that. And then, of course, when I didn't do it very often, I lost confidence and had to reteach myself how to do pattern drafting and alterations and modifications and all that fun stuff. But once I dedicated myself just on my own time with the instruction that I received, even if it was years later, I managed to get back into it pretty easily. So once you know it, you don't really lose it. I got money. She paid me. Okay, little fella. I don't know why the stitch length on this, it's not grabbing it for some reason. This is the first time I'm using this walking foot, and I'm not sure if I'm making a mistake doing this. I mean, it's coming out fine. It's just little details that probably only I would notice. So, if I put... It's gonna hit it. Why is it gonna hit it? It's gonna hit that needle. Let's see if we can do it like this. It's a little better. Maybe only I'm gonna notice this. Oh, awesome. Fabric donations are some of my favorite donations. Although I think now I have so much fabric that I've kind of gotten a little overwhelmed with the amount that I have. But I know that sometimes you just can't say no to a really nice print or really nice fabric that somebody else just doesn't need or can't use or whatever. I'm only gonna have time to finish this one edge. I want more time. I wish I could stay home, but I have to work tonight. It's a Friday night at the cafe. And we will most likely be busy. Tomorrow we'll be busy. Because it's a special event on the street that our cafe is located at. Oy vey. Otherwise, this is turning out just fine. It's just a matter of control. Okay, that's all she wrote. It's not too bad. Looks pretty good. A little bit of a shift in my stitching, but only I will see that. Teen Treadle's designer also makes petticoats. Petticoats are a pain in the ass, let me just tell you. Like, seriously. You're so hooked on Lolita, huh? But you definitely need to make a petticoat. Yeah, gosh, petticoats are a love-hate relationship. Love to wear them, hate to make them. That's just how it is. But as for their construction, it's a simple process. It's just a lot of gathering and using pretty fiddly fabric, things like organza. There is a place where you can get pre-cut rolls of, like, I think it is organza. It's not silk, but it's like a faux silk. And you just like take it and you gather it a lot to make like really, really tight gathers. And you just do that over and over and over again until you have enough volume that you like. In fact, one of my petticoats that I made is on this dress form. Let me see if I can show you. So this top one is just another layer that I decided to add, that I bought. I bought this petticoat, but the one underneath it is a petticoat that I made. It's already like so worn because I keep using it for display, but it's just like a pre-cut. It's a tricot weave organza, and they have them in pre-cut rolls. So this was just like already cut into like a 12-inch roll, so you have just a whole roll of organza that you can use. In fact, I can show you what it looks like. It's a dance supply company, and whether or not they're still around, I don't know. But here's an example. I would just take a roll of this and like gather it really, 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 really tight, and just make maybe 3 layers of gathers. Pretty useful, and actually it's pretty affordable to get like a whole bunch of rolls of that. I know, oh yeah, I've got a whole bunch of pink down there. I was gonna make pink petticoats. And that fell through. But one of the other things that's really useful if you're gonna make a petticoat is, I have several of these. I have several of these because not all of them work for the same fabric. So I like wrote no on some of them. But here is a ruffler attachment. Goes on a home sewing machine and just goes, let me see if I can show you. You may have seen these before. I don't know. You can make it different stitches, like every 1 stitch, every 6 stitches, every 12 stitches, or I think it's 3 of stitches. I forget. But yeah, just goes ka-chink, ka-chink. And it feeds the top layer into a really tight ruffle. That's how I make petticoats. So having one of these is very, very helpful. I have 4 of them. Oh my god. I wrote no on like a couple. Yeah, this one. This is a reject. I think this one's okay. I think maybe this one's okay. One works better for fine fabrics, sheer fabrics, and the other works better for things like cotton. So when I'm making the ruffles for the bottom of a skirt, for instance, I'll use one of these that's good for the cotton weight, medium weight fabric. So that's my shtick. Yep, you're welcome. And like I said, today was gonna be just a short little stream day, just to put myself out there. So thanks for joining me, Millen, and I'll see you or whoever's watching at a later date. Not sure when that's going to be. Probably won't be streaming this weekend. But if you follow my blog, I have information there on updates. My Discord, you can always find me on there. It's live. I get notifications. Oh, hi! Hi, Sierra! Sorry you're catching me right at the end. Just before going to bed. Just back from walking the dog and the torrential rain just started. Handy timings. Well, maybe you can catch me next time. Like I was saying, I'm not going to be streaming this weekend. Hopefully I'll be back on Monday, but maybe I'll get a wild hair and decide to stream on Sunday, because I don't have D&D that day. I'm a DM for a game that I started, but that day we're off because players have obligations. And yeah, I was just telling everybody about the Discord. Don't forget Discord. Don't forget my blog. I think all the links are down on the Twitch thing. Yeah, I think that's it. I gotta go. Okay, stay hydrated, have a good day at work. I will. Thank you, and thanks for joining me. And if I could time this right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.